Norfolk, Virginia, and she also watches us on television on FamilyNet. Hello there.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hanging in there.
Okay, what's going on? Speak right up and tell us how we could help you.
Well, I've been going out with the same guy for the last 6 years, and I'm a senior. And we just recently broke up, and I wanted to know how I can move on. I mean, I'm
Senior
reading books and going to church, and not that I didn't go to church before, but going more frequently. And
all right. So you're a senior in high school or senior in college?
I'm a senior citizen.
Senior citizen. All right.
62?
Okay.
So, yeah, so meeting someone is not as easy as it used to be.
No. And during this 6 years, did it seem like it was going somewhere, or was it kind of stagnant for a lot of the 6 years?
No, it did seem like it was going somewhere. I mean, at one point we had talked about moving to North Carolina and being together as a couple. And then within the last 2 years, he bought himself a little BMW sports car with the with the top down, and he it's like he's going through childhood again. Yeah. And it's almost like I'm not good enough for him. He wants somebody younger and cuter and healthier and
well, how could we help you? What's the question we could answer?
I want to know how can I move on? I mean, I don't want anybody that doesn't want me.
No.
Well, that's a really good attitude to have, Brenda. You know, and it sounds like it was a long distance relationship.
No, actually, we're in the same town.
Oh, you are?
I mean, I've moved out of that town and into another town, but it's still close.
Okay. Okay, so how can you move on? Well, it's, I think, two parts. One is the getting yourself back out there and having that attitude of, I want somebody who wants me. The other question, I think, though, is why did I let this go on for 6 years? And what was I, not seeing? What was I willing to put up with that kind of kept me stuck in this relationship? And how invested, in which ways did I invest that maybe kept me from branching out when it wasn't going anywhere? Like, was I sexually involved? Emotionally, did I feel overly dependent on him? So to be looking at those things, Brenda, as you're branching out and realizing that, you're going to be sad because it is a loss, and that is part of the moving on.
And you invested 6
years.
6 long years at a very crucial time in your life, and you don't get those back, but you can learn from those 6 years. Mila, any thoughts here?
Well, you could be shell-shocked, Brenda.
Well, I think I've taken all kinds of little positive slips of paper and written little positive messages on them, and I go and get one every day and read it to myself to try to keep myself going. But I don't have any. I don't want to go anywhere.
Okay,
where are those friends?
so now what that tells me is you're fighting something. You see, what you're fighting is depression, and you're fighting just being shell-shocked, which is to go into a state of I don't quite know what to do with myself. I feel aimless. I feel hopeless. I don't feel like I have direction. I don't feel like I have energy. I'm just lacking some stuff here. And that's what I'm saying, that when you're in that state, you've suffered a big loss, and it's time to slow down and acknowledge the loss.
Because Brenda, you kind of sound emotionless a bit on our call, so that would make sense.
Yeah, and then I got to go find a little positive piece of paper to talk myself into in a different emotional state. You're not going to be ready to go meet somebody else and move on until you take the time to grieve your losses here.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, I hope something we've said is helpful here. Let me send you Mylan's book, How We Love, and I think that'll give you some really great insight, along with a book called Avoiding Mr. Wrong. And I tell you, you just got to get out there. If you're wanting to date someone, to marry someone, you have to find a lot of different people to meet, and you have to be willing to, at the, after about a year, if things aren't going the right direction, then you're probably going to have to move on, versus at the end of 6 years.
Well, and Steve, another comment, it's that being proactive, but also creating some space internally for ourselves to deal with the feelings.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just busy, time
Right.
filling up, distracting ourselves.
Okay.